Yo, 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 what's good, everybody? It's your boy 005 Dynasty. I'm back with another video. I'm going to give a shout out to my boy Maximus, man. He did a dope video today, man, talking about music production. And he was going over a study that these people had did about people who spend a lot of time playing video games. And, they play video games even though they are musical producers. And, it takes away your time from actually doing what you really want to do or what you thought you might have wanted to do. So, I dropped a comment. My comment was pretty long, and he said he wanted to hear my opinion. And I think it's pretty cool that he wanted to hear my opinion inside of a video. So here's my opinion. I'm not going to stay on here for too long, but I want to just say this. Great video, by the way. And I like the fact that he brought light to it, because what could happen is like some people might see the video and it might enlighten them in a way where it's like, yeah, man, I'm not doing what I need to be doing in music production. I'm not putting 100% of my effort into it. Or it might bring some light to where they might say like, hey, music production isn't really for me the way I thought it might have been. Let me focus on playing the video games and make a career out of that. Or let me focus on going back to school to be a lawyer, a doctor, or something like that. So what I was saying was, you never know what people are going through in life. You know what I'm saying? You never know what the next person's situation really, really is. And the mind is crazy. You know what I'm saying? The mind might want to do something because maybe you saw your cousin make a beat, or maybe you saw a friend make a beat, or maybe you saw somebody on a DVD, or maybe you saw somebody on YouTube, and you got the idea of like, that's pretty cool, I might want to do it. And, you might dive into it as recreation, or you might dive into it as a career. We don't know. Nobody ever knows. But sometimes it comes to a point where it's like you're doing something that you might not you know what I'm saying, you probably shouldn't be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I truly believe that, you know what I'm saying? Because that's why you fall back to like doing something recreational, like playing video games. And because when I see video games, I see it as recreational, unless you are taking it to that level. You know what I'm saying? And some people recreational might revert back to video games. Somebody's recreational might revert back to drinking alcohol. Somebody's recreational might revert back to like, being abusive. Or somebody's recreational might revert back to just reading books. You know what I'm saying? We never know what somebody's recreational is and how they spend their time. But sometimes what happens is like we get into something, and when we get into something, there might be things that take us out of our element. And we revert back to things that make us comfortable, or doing different things in life that stop us from doing things that we don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's kind of hard to explain, but let me try to explain it. So, let's say if, like, you get into music production because of something. Something put you into music production. But maybe music production might not be going the way that you thought it should go. Maybe it's a little too hard for you. Maybe the whole process is hard, because music production is a very hard thing. So you might do it, but then there might be times where you might not want to do it fully, or you won't think about doing it fully, and you might just start to think about, oh, let me play a little bit of video games here and here, or do this here and there, or do that here and there. Maybe because you're having a lot of stress at your house, so you can't do music because people are stressing you. So you might revert back to doing video games or something. You know what I'm saying? Like you have so much stuff that you got going on throughout your day or throughout your week, that you might revert back to something that made you comfortable, which might have been playing video games. So we never know the reason why somebody might go back to doing something, or they might pick up doing something, or whatever. However you get to the point of doing something other than music production, it might have been something that led people that way. So what I thought was cool about his video is that sometimes you need people to say certain things so that you could go back into your mind and think like, oh man, I you know what I'm saying? He's kind of right. Maximus is kind of right. And then maybe you'll put the video games down and jump back into music hardcore. You know what I'm saying? Pause, but you know what I'm saying? Maybe you jump back into doing music. Or you might say, you know what? Let me give music a break and just focus on fixing something in my life, or just, going back to doing something that makes me more happy. So it's a lot of variables. To me, it's a lot of variables, because there's a lot of variables in life. You know what I'm saying? Like I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for the next person because I don't know what the next person is going through. But let's say me, for example, right? I grew up in the 80s, right? I'm from 1980, okay? I was born September 6, 1980. Basically, the video game era. You know what I'm saying? From the late 70s going into the early to the mid 80s. That's video game central right there. So it's kind of like in my DNA. Like you know what I'm saying? I used to go to like my neighbor's house and play Nintendo when it first came out around like 84, 85, 86, 87. You know what I'm saying? So video games, I grew up with video games. So whenever I want to like feel comfortable or maybe want to do something that's recreational, myself might revert back to playing video games because I wasn't like a big time athlete like that. I didn't run track and field. I didn't play sports in school. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we never know like how somebody's life played out. You know what I'm saying? But let's say that. So now I'm born in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Video games has always been a part of my life. But has it taken over my mind, body, and soul? No. That's another key thing we have to point out there. You know what I'm saying? You can't let the video games take over your mind, your body, and your soul. Then you're not even living life anymore. You know what I'm saying? That's why I be trying to take the video game out of my kids' hand. Like, get outside, go do something else than playing the video games all the time. I'll tell them to his face, that video game taking over your mind, body, and soul. I'll tell him like that cell phone is taking over your mind, body, and soul. Get outside, go do something else, and then he'll go do something. Like we sign him up to flag football, we sign him up to soccer. You know what I'm saying? That's different. But when it comes to just you as a person, like say for me, you know what I'm saying, I was born in the 80s, and now going throughout life, I dipped and dabbed in video games, but I also dipped and dabbed in other things. You know what I'm saying? That's why they call me a jack of all trades. I'm multi-talented. I can do so many different things. Cause I spent countless, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to say hours because it's more than hours, countless, I guess, years learning how to do graphic design. I spent countless years learning how to break dance, being a b-boy. I spent countless years learning how to reggae dance. I spent countless years learning how to do graffiti. I spent countless years learning how to rap, basically. I started in 2020 learning how to rap because I failed back in the days. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't do it back in the days that's a different story. Anyway, I spent countless years learning how to do, video editing and shoot music videos. You know what I'm saying? So I spent countless years doing all these different talents and built up these different skill sets. But maybe once in a while, when, you know what I'm saying, I get into an argument with my girl at the house and like, you know what I'm saying, I'm like really, really heated, I might go off into my own studio and I might play the video games because it's more relaxing for me rather than trying to struggle and to make a beat. You know what I'm saying? So we never know what people go through in a life that might revert back to something that might be more comfortable for them, so they don't lash out, they don't do things they don't want to do. So so that's why I like this video, because I hear what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? He's saying like, yo, you can't be on the internet complaining about this and about that, about music production, if you're not putting forth 110% effort into music production. You got to put forth so much if you're going to sit there and say stuff and you're going to make videos and you're going to do this and you're going to do that. I get that. But I also get the side of people that, maybe they need somebody to bring it to their attention. Like, hey, you're saying this and you're saying that, but this is where we're seeing from you, and maybe you should not focus on the video game or focus on this and focus on that and focus more on your music production. You know what I'm saying? So I get both sides. You know what I'm saying? And then there's like another side. There's a third side. Like, what about the side of the people who love music? They like doing music, right? And they do music. But they also like doing other things besides music 100% of the time. So they do other things. And that's the crazy part. Because if you really, really think about it, guys, if you don't do music like 100% of the time, it's hard for you to really get into the game. It's hard for you to make changes in the game. And I know that. Like, I'll give you an example. I left music for like 10 years. So I was doing music with me and my twin brother up until like 2007, 2008, something like that. 2009. Around that time, now I left music. I went to school for music from 2009 to 2010. Now it was done for me, man. I left music completely, and within that 10-year span, I was playing video games. But when I was playing video games, right, I was building something though. I was building like the knowledge of running a team. Like, so I had a whole team. I was building the knowledge of how to create websites for a team. I was building the knowledge of learning how to operate on the internet, operate on Google, operate on YouTube, operate on social media platforms, build my own website from scratch using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and all that stuff. So I was building myself up with playing video games, but also learning the business of the internet, running a gaming team and stuff like that. Graphic design, I had to do all the logos, I had to do all the artwork from all the team members. So I'm doing stuff inside of video games as well as incorporating all the other parts of my life into this whole thing I was doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I guess the business of, setting up a gaming clan, a gaming team. But then when I came back to do music in 2018 to go into 2020, now I'm doing music. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing music again, but I still like video games. So it's so many different variables and so many different sides to a person's life that we don't know what they go through. Hey, what's up? That we don't know what they go through. That it's so many different things that can project your course in life. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is this, guys. Don't let the video games take over your life to the point where it controls your mind, your body, and your soul. Understand that video games is a recreational tool that you can use anytime that you want, man, because sometimes we need that break, we need that separation, but we need to focus on the music and also maintain our grasp on music, and don't let that fall by the wayside, because time is precious. Time is valuable. Time is the most precious resource that we have, because once we run out of time, we don't have nothing else. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'll give you another cool example before I get out of here. I just posted a video game footage like a couple days ago. It's the video game Minecraft. Minecraft is the #1 selling video game of all time. I like Minecraft. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? I started playing it in 2011 when they brought it to, the Xbox console. So I played it a little bit, but I left the game. Then I think maybe like 2 years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, my kids got into Minecraft. So they were like, "Daddy, can you play with us?" So I started playing with them a little bit, and then boom, you know what I'm saying? I stopped playing. So I have my own Minecraft account, and every once in a while, I would go in there, play for like an hour or two, whatever, and then I would stop playing for like a good 3 months. You know what I'm saying? Just messed around with the game, and then I came up with the idea of I really like cinematic music, so I came up with this idea of incorporating my music in the Minecraft video game. So I was like, what if I was to do my whole style, which is cinematic air hop, ghost wave, right? But then I would take away the drums or whatever, and I would just do the cinematic part to go along with me playing a video game. So I came up with this idea like a while ago, right? But I never dove into it. Then eventually I brought it to my friend Ja's attention. I was like, Ja, I was like, man, we getting all this equipment, we doing all this music. We don't have to just stick to just hip hop or R&B or anything like that. We could really, we could pitch our music for sync licensing, or we could do our own type of style of cinematic music for like Minecraft, or maybe even just like, I don't know, maybe like movies or something like that. He was like, that's a pretty dope idea. So then what happened was, I said, I'm going to start a Minecraft series, but I said what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to put the audio with it, like the audio that comes with the Minecraft video game. I'm going to take the audio out, and then we're going to put our own audio there. So when we go down in the cave, and, we're in the cave playing the video game, right? But it's our music. And then, you put this one, then we put like on the screen, like a little subtitle down low, we'll put the name of the producer who produced that music for that specific scene inside of Minecraft. So now it's not necessarily playing the video game to have fun. It's playing the video game to have fun and be more like musical and interactive, other than just trying to make a hip hop beat using an 808 kick drum and triplet hi-hat. You know what I'm saying? So it's we have to pay. Sometimes we have to understand, like, sometimes in this world people are doing things that's beyond what you might be thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, because the world is so big and so vast, and there's so many different ways you can get your music out there, there's so many different things you can do. Sometimes people fall under that category too, where it's like, man, I'm playing video games, but it's for a specific reason. I'm going to have fun doing it, but I'm going to incorporate my music into it. So now I did a video like two or 3 days ago. It's on my YouTube channel. I'm playing Minecraft, but if you watch the video and you listen to it, it's only the sound effects playing. There's no audio when it comes to the music, because what's going to happen is I'm going to go back and I'm going to take that video game series and I'm going to put my music and John's music in there, and boom, and see where that goes. Music is all about testing things out, trying things out, and having fun, right, guys? So yeah. So don't be discouraged, guys, you know what I'm saying, when you got to fall back to the video games, but listen to what Maximus was saying, though. Don't make it your end-all, be-all, and make sure you understand what your point is in life, and do not waste your time. Focus on something and get the job done. It's your boy, Old 5 Dynasty. I'll catch you guys on the next one.